Why does happiness always seem to elude you? Hello, all you beautiful souls out there in my social media family. How are you doing today? My name is Chris, and I'm here to help you find your happiness. In today's video, we're going to be having a conversation about happiness and why it always seems to elude us at certain times of our lives. And I can tell you right now, speaking from experience, it is most likely because you are relying on your happiness from external sources, i.e. another person or situations being a certain way in order for your happiness. And that is a mistake that I have definitely made in the past. And let me take a step back and not necessarily say that it's a mistake. It's just a process that we have to unlearn. And because, I say that because I don't think that anything throughout our lives are mistakes, or at least that's what I've learned. That's what I've come to learn now, or at least that's my beliefs now. And the reason I believe that now is that because everything that I used to look at as a mistake was a lesson for me to learn something. And that's really the way that I try to look at any situations like that now. And that allows me to really maintain my happiness throughout anything that happens in my life. And I'm going to get into that in just a second. But back to what I was saying is that, through growing up and through the programming of society, or whatever you want to call it, through just, the life experience that we have, where we grow up learning to rely on other people for our happiness. And we're never really taught that somebody else can't make us happy. Now, can they bring happiness into our life? Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not saying that no one can bring happiness into your life. Of course they can. However, they can't maintain that happiness within you unless it's already there. And throughout my healing journey and spiritual awakening, that's the understanding that I've really started to have nowadays. And I cannot tell you how amazing it is through this realization that all the happiness that I've ever dreamed of and desired is right here already. And the way that we have to understand that we get there is by not relying on external situations or other people for our happiness. Because when you ultimately break it down, no one else other than ourselves is actually responsible for our happiness. And the more that we put that responsibility in another person's hands or in another situation to be a certain way, the more that happiness is going to elude us time after time after time after time. So, the point that I'm trying to make here is that the less that we can put our happiness in the hands of another person or in relying on another situation to be a certain way, the less that happiness is going to elude us. And the way that I've been able to do that is by really looking internally for my happiness and not looking outside, not relying on that outside situation. And that was something that I used to do in the past. In the past, that was one of my biggest lessons I had to learn from. And you see, that's the kind of programming that I'm talking about. That's the kind of, because even now, I still want to call it a mistake, but I'm really trying to get away from looking at those things as mistakes. But again, whatever you want to label it as a mistake or a lesson, it's something that we have to learn to get away from. And I used to in the past, definitely require the validation of a woman, to someone to be in a relationship with in order for happiness. I definitely required the validation of, my boss or my company to be doing good in order for my happiness. Now, how can we really start to understand that these things can only bring in additional happiness? Well, that is kind of the tricky part. That's the part that we really have to start to understand and really have to start looking at. Why is it that we're relying on external situations, or why is it that we're relying on other people for our happiness? And what I found from that is somewhere along the line, I I forgot how to love myself, and I forgot how to respect myself. Now, it obviously wasn't on purpose, but yet that is what I realized. And through understanding that my happiness has to start within here and in here first, that is, until I realized that, it was very difficult for me to start pulling back my energy from other people and taking back my power. And so the sooner that you can understand that all the power and all the energy you need for your happiness is right here and right here, the sooner that you can start finding that lasting happiness the way that I've been able to in my life. So please, whatever you do, stop relying on other people for your happiness. Stop putting that responsibility on anyone else other than yourself. And I guarantee you, just like I did, you will find happiness that does not elude you. All right, everybody, I hope that you found that video helpful. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button as well. Until next time, I'm sending you all much love. Namaste.